I just need to give a warning from the outset and say that this video is not appropriate for children, because Islam is not appropriate for children. And in fact, Islam is not appropriate for women or men either. Proceed and watch with caution.
Would you say conceptually that makes sense, that God comes, got married to his mom, and hits it every night?
Can you honestly think of no other way to explain intercourse than hits it every night? Just to explain this vulgar, crude expression to viewers who aren't misogynists, who aren't thugs, and who aren't religious Muslims. When he says, quote unquote, hits it, he means having sex or intercourse. But before we get to his question, can we just focus on the fact that this guy is just such a disgusting, misogynistic pervert? To refer to female sexual anatomy as it, and to refer to the act of sexual intercourse as hitting it, goes without saying how this guy has zero respect for a woman. He has no shame, doesn't respect his mother, his wife, his sisters, his daughters, or any females in his life. Is that how you talk to young Muslims in your mosque when you counsel them? Hey brother Muhammad, did you hit it last night? Shame on you. Disgusting. To give an idea as to why he thinks it's okay to refer to female anatomy in the way that he does as it and hitting it, in his Quran, it actually says that Allah blew into Maryam, the daughter of Imran, not the biblical Maryam, into her private part. And then his God goes on to refer to her private part as it, just like he does. He blew into it. Furthermore, his God also teaches that women are merely a tilth for Muslim men to plow into as they wish. So this sheds some light on why Uthman thinks it's acceptable to say,
And hits it every night.
Moving on to his question, but I'll rephrase it in a slightly more appropriate way. Is it conceptually possible for God to get married to a woman and have intercourse every night? What he's implying is that we as Christians believe something similar to this. He's suggesting that we think our God had sex or got married, and that's how God can have a son. That's how Jesus was produced. This is the logic that the Quran uses in chapter 6, verse 101. And I'll put a link in the description to a video I did on that in the past. So because he's trying to insult, I'll respond in a way that he can relate, since he wants to blaspheme the true God.
Would you say conceptually that makes sense, that God comes, got married to his mom, and hits it every night?
To answer your question directly, from an Islamic perspective, the answer is an astounding 100% yes, Uthman. Your God is perfectly capable and able to get married to your mother, to your wife, to your daughter, to your sister, and have sex every single night according to your own book, according to your own religion. And here's the proof. Firstly, we know that in Islam, Allah has many body parts.
Okay, okay, look.
Hands.
You see this?
Let's just
you see this?
Let's just be clear with the
He's
question.
just clarifying the question.
Let's
Sure.
be clear what the question is, and then I'll let you talk. Face, eyes, hands, shin, foot, or feet. No.
And what some of you may not know is that Allah also has a womb, and He has loins. That's right. He or she, or it, has a womb and loins.
Another attribute mentioned in several ahadith found in Sahih Bukhari, as well as other respected hadith collections, tells us that once Allah finished the creation, the rahim, the womb, identified as a feminine figure, stood up and grabbed Allah by his loins. And Allah shrieked out in response, "Stop it! What are you doing?" According to the hadith. Other traditions besides these three in Bukhari also speak of the womb growing a tongue and grabbing various parts of Allah's body, his waist, his side, his shoulders, and so on.
There's also a hadith in which Muhammad says that he saw his Lord as a curly-haired, beardless young man wearing a green robe. So your God actually has body parts, sexual reproductive organs, and your prophet saw him as a man with a womb. A man with a womb. Maybe that makes as much sense as it did in the 6th century as it does in 2021. Now in chapter 21, verse 17, your false God says that if he wanted to take a woman, then he would. The commentaries define the word lahwan pretty unanimously, though some do differ. Majority say that this word means a woman. Some say that it's the woman of paradise.
Would you say conceptually that makes sense, that God comes, got married to his mom, and hits it every night?
So is it conceptually possible that one of these women of paradise that Allah may want to take as his wife and have sex with is your mother? Yeah, conceptually, that's possible. As you can see, your God here says that he's perfectly capable of doing that, if he wanted to. If any Muslim blasphemes God, insults Mary, or insinuates that we believe that Jesus is a product of sexual union, then you can expect videos like this in the future. Here's a warning from your own Quran, chapter 6, verse 108. Jesus is Lord, and Islam is disgusting and false.